Donnie and Dolly, the team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Friday. All of today's guests, including Giulio Caravatta, standing by, brought to you by the Vancouver Giants. New this season, the Giants are offering 6 and 10 game ticket flex packs. Your tickets your way. Packs start at $129. For more info, visit vancouvergiants.com/flex. Packs tonight. Brandon at the LEC. Nate Danielson, center for the Wee Kings, expected to go mid-first round at the 2023 NHL entry draft. Rickshaw driver is in some countries called a coolie.
A what?
A coolie.
A coolie?
Yeah.
I didn't know. You learn something new on the show every single time out.
We hope to learn something new from Giulio Caravatta, longtime BC Lions analyst, former Lions quarterback. Lions in Winnipeg tomorrow. Giulio, thanks for doing this. How are you?
I'm very well, guys. How are you?
Very well. Your reaction to the return of the gunmetal gray Lions uniforms?
It's funny. I'm just sitting at the at field level here with the Moj, and he's panicking because even at field level, it's difficult to see the numbers. So he's already panicking about being able to see numbers. But yeah, they're beautiful uniforms. I love them. They great look, and even though it'll be difficult to pick out numbers, they've got a definite they've got a real cool look to them.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about with the numbers, but bottom line is, I recall, back in the day, 2013, when they trotted them out the first time around, they did sell. Yep. So money talks. Hey, Giulio,
yes,
what do you believe when it comes to Nathan Rourke's return to play?
Oh wow, I mean that's a great question. So you know what, I'm cautiously optimistic. I know Nathan has done everything that he possibly can, and the other thing too, like I know that they showed a clip of him throwing the other day. I went out to practice yesterday. I didn't see him throw, but he obviously was there. He wouldn't be on the field doing anything if it wasn't being medically approved. So this isn't a case of a guy saying, "Hey, I'm good. I feel good. I'm going out there." Like they're not doing that. Like, I know for sure that they were X-raying that foot every single week to see the progress, to see everything, and they'll continue to do that. And they are going to take it step by step, and they're going to really be on the cautious side. But Nathan, the one thing I think we've all learned about him is that he's one of these kids that it's still following his weekly routine of getting prepared for games and watching film and doing all the things that he would do if he was actually in the lineup. Now, physically, he is going to take it exactly the way that the trainers are telling him and the medical staff are telling him. So, I really don't know what the answer is. But like every other BC Lion fan, if he becomes a factor, everything changes. Everything changes if he somehow finds his way back into the lineup.
Yeah, and is anywhere near 100%. Hey, So what's your opinion of the job, meanwhile, that Vernon Adams Jr. has done at quarterback in Nathan's place?
Well, I think obviously difficult situation, but, Vernon, is a very, very athletic and mobile quarterback, and I think, being traded and coming to a new system where reading a defense and the structure of the defense or the offense was much different than what I think he's used to. So I think he's still trying to find his way in this offense, and I think Jordan McSimick, the offensive coordinator, is continuing to figure out what works with him. How to get him involved in games. One by using his feet and getting him out of the pocket, but sometimes that can be, a scenario where that's all you look for. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I think last week he had success the week prior against Ottawa early on using his feet. And I think early on in Toronto, rather than focusing himself downfield, I think he tried to use his feet early, and they really did a good job of containing him. And the big problem, too, guys, is this. For a quarterback, even at every level, but when you play and your eyes go down to the line of scrimmage, like you look at what's in front of you instead of looking at what's downfield, it is so hard to refocus your eyes downfield. So once you commit to the line of scrimmage, it's hard because everything moves so quickly. So for him, I think his success has got to come early on. He's got to maybe get the ball out of his hands, make his reads, and then when the opportunity arises to use your feet and your athleticism, because that is something the entire league knows that he's capable of doing. But it's the other part that he still needs to get more comfortable with this offense is getting those reads, understanding what the receivers are going to do, and that takes time, and getting the ball out of his hands.
Hey, Giulio, so we know they're going to play Calgary in the first round of the playoffs. So what are you looking for from the Lions in the last 3 games of the regular season?
Consistency, buddy. Really,
yeah.
Really, when you have your fate kind of in front of you already, then I think the biggest thing you got to look for is just continued consistency, right? Execution, understanding the offense, understanding, especially in Vernon's case, like getting a better understanding of the receivers and what they like to do and how they like to run routes, and you got to be really comfortable. And I think the one thing for especially Vernon is that he's had success against them. Right? Like you can always, mentally go back to that game that you played on the road and say, hey, I can do this, right? I know that they're a good team and they're going to be, if they have to go on the road and play them in Calgary, then you know that you have that success. And if you play them at home, then now you've got the comfort of playing at home. And again, against a team that you know that you've had success. So I would say that the biggest thing is that you continue to grow and get better and get more comfortable with this offense.
Giulio, there isn't a more diehard Lion fan in this market than you. You're right there with Donnie and myself going to Empire back in the days. Have you seen, because the last few years have been tough on you too, pal. The stadium's been empty, not a lot of winning. Are you seeing a shift in the market in terms of people coming up to you and saying, you know what, new owner, a new vibe, new feeling? Are you feeling it?
Absolutely. I think one of the things that I've really been really impressed with is the fact that this team, or especially early on, right? Like there's no question. Not only were the hot topic here in town, but right across the whole country. And when Nathan went down, that was, it hurt everything. Not only this team, but it hurt the league. But I think they've just done a tremendous job. Every single game you come here, there are young kids involved. They're getting young kids into the stadium. They're bringing youth football, and they're running out of the tunnel with the team. They got youth cheerleaders. They've got all these young people that are involved in the game some way, somehow, and they're getting them here in the stadium so that they want to come back, right? And so I think for me, guys, is that I always get a great feel when I go, even in my own neighborhood, and I've said this many times, I go walk my dogs, and then, you get the neighbors that are coming out and saying, hey, what's happening? Oh, God, that was a great game yesterday, or God, that was a frustrating, but people are talking about it. Mm-hmm. And that's the most important thing. And I think, as you say, Amar Doman has done a great job. The Lions organization have done a good job of getting, I said, the most important thing is to getting that young generation involved and to the game and get them interested. And the football needs to be exciting, obviously, and they were. And they still are. It's a little bit more inconsistent at times now, but that's understandable given the circumstances. But I definitely get a feel that there's more people talking, and that talk is only going to grow if Nathan Rourke gets back in the lineup.
Yep. Got a couple of dogs there. You're an animal lover, except when it comes to moles. What's the latest with the moles, Giulio, in your yard?
I haven't had any. I haven't had any. I don't want you jinxing me. You know what I mean?
Sorry. I thought mine were gone, and they appeared a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, did they? Yeah. No, I haven't. I don't know whether or not it's because I just got a puppy in May.
Incredible.
And so she's 6 months old, and I don't know whether or not the dogs and the scent on the grass, is a put off for them, but I haven't had them. I did walk my dog up the road though and saw my neighbor. There was probably about 15 holes in his grass. I felt terrible for him.
I bet you did. You probably sent your moles over to him.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll borrow your dog for a day then. Thanks, Giulio. All the best.
Nice talking to you guys. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.
Yeah, no problem. Giulio Caravatta, Lions and Winnipeg Blue Bombers tomorrow, BC Place.